Keeping people out of prisons and increasing public safety. That's what Governor Lee says he wants to do with the two criminal justice reform bills. The governor signed two new criminal justice reform bills just this afternoon. And our News 4's Tosin Fakile was at the signing and has more details on the bills and reaction from advocacy groups. Tosin.
Well, Marius, the bills were proposed by Governor Lee himself. He said during that signing this afternoon that criminal justice reform is something that's been on his mind for several years. The bills were passed by legislature in April. The first is an alternative to Incarceration Act. The second, Reentry Success Act.
This is how we make sure that we save taxpayer dollars. This is how we make sure that we ensure safe neighborhoods. And this is how we transform lives.
The governor is hoping both bills will reduce how many times people return to jail and reduce crime rate. Those across the aisle and advocacy groups say it's a first step.
When you talk about community-based policing and reform that we want to be able to see, it is at least refreshing to see words like alternatives and to see words like community-based.
I think it's a small step in the right direction. I think we could have done a lot more for the people of Tennessee.
One bill, the Alternatives to Incarceration Act, creates a way for local governments and private organizations to establish community-based alternatives to incarceration. We asked the governor what that would look like.
Potentially day reporting centers, treatment programs that are required as a result of their offense. Many of these folks have a mental health issue.
The second bill, Reentry Success Act, creates mandatory supervision programs for people recently released from prison. One Democratic lawmaker says more could be done to help people with reentry.
We need to be able to either seal or expunge their records on a quicker basis. Waiting 5, 10, 15 years for a minor offense is, and up to some severe offenses, this just doesn't make any sense.
Addressing, in addition to reentering, like voter restoration is a part of reentry as well.
Advocacy groups like Equity Alliance say they'll be keeping watch on the implementation of the legislation.
And making sure that there is going to be uniformity when they are determining what's going to be considered zero tolerance and what's not going to be zero tolerance.
Now, the legislation will take effect July 1st. If you want to read more about both bills, you can visit our website, WSMV.com. Back to you, Marius.